we're talking today about the Panasonic Toughbook 55. This is, it's really heavy, has a handle, it's definitely not your everyday computer. So James, I'm gonna let you just take it away. Talk about the bells and whistles and really who it's intended for.
So the Panasonic Toughbook 55 is, Panasonic's been doing the Toughbook line for 18, 19 years now, and they have really kind of got the market for these really ruggedized devices that are used in adverse environments that, very industrial, also kind of police applications, military, that type of thing. But they are really, really built to a much different standard than your average consumer system. And now this is the Toughbook 55. It has a 14-inch 1080p screen. It's got a little bit of everything. So just opening it up here, it's got a actual latch here, and there haven't been a lot of laptops with actual closed latches anymore. But if we open up this here, there's a 1080p webcam and depth sensor, IR, that type of thing. This thing has 4 microphones, and the reason for that is that it's for noise canceling. So if you're working in noisy environments, which a lot of people in industrial use cases are, it's good for that type of thing. And there's 2 speakers here. It gets up to 92 decibels, and that's another one of those things that it's really for a specific market. If you think about, there are mounts for this for cars, so you do see them in police cruisers quite a lot. If you have a siren going on and you've got the windows up, that's about 85 decibels right there. With the windows down, it's about 90. So it's designed to be heard even over a siren. So that's pretty loud.
Pretty loud, right?
That's louder than what the previous model was. So that's one thing. It has 2 ports here, and right now there's batteries included on both of the ports, and those are hot swappable. So if you turn the screen down to 150 nits of brightness, and it goes up to 1,000, so it's very bright. You can use it outdoors. It's one of those things that is built to be used. But if you turn it down to 150 and you don't have a touchscreen model and you're not using cellular access, you can get 20 hours out of one battery. So with 2, you've got 40, and they are hot swappable. So you don't even have to turn the thing off in order to keep the battery. So let's see. There's 2 batteries in here now, but you can switch out one of those for either a card version of the smart card reader. So insert the card, or there is a contactless version as well. And these are both $100 for this expansion pack, or X pack as I call them. And there's a fingerprint reader as well, and that's $125. One thing about it is, on a lot of consumer systems, you would find fingerprint readers already embedded into the touchpad here. So you must be wondering, why not just integrate it?
Right.
They can break. So having it modular like this does make it a little easier to deal with if you have a situation in which you manage to break the thing. That said, this is supposed to be pretty resilient, so hopefully you're not doing that, and you should be able to remove the touchpad. The keyboard is also user replaceable if for some reason you manage to spill enough coffee on it that it breaks.
Happens. Yep.
But if you're like me and think, oh hey, we've got 2 expansion ports here, why don't we take out both of the batteries and put random additions in? One of them has to be battery. You can't actually do that. But normal people would not try to do something that dumb. So there's also the DVD drive bay. And this is, you can use it for about anything. Out of the box, it's just got a plastic spacer, so there's nothing in it. You can get a 512 gig or 1 terabyte SSD that you can put in it. You can get this wonderful AMD graphics card, and this is a Radeon Pro WX 4150. So it's workstation quality. It's not something that you want to be doing a lot of gaming on, but if you're buying this for a gaming machine, you might want to sort out your priorities a bit. And then there's also optical drives, because optical drives are not dead, and this is your average DVD player. Can burn as well. But this is 100. If you want to go for Blu-ray, it's 400, and this little graphics card is 700. And note that it has a fan on top and on the side. Now, ports. There's a lot of ports on this system, and all of them are protected by little doors. So see if we can pop this open here. We've got one for 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, also supports microphone, and a micro SD card slot. And past here is your Ethernet, USB-C, and USB-A. And right back here is the power. It's a simple barrel connector. It gets a little bit over 100 watts, so you can't use USB-C to power. And right here, this is, your SIM card, which is behind a screw so your SIM card doesn't fall out, HDMI and USB. And this is kind of the goofy thing. You can add on more ports with an expansion.
You need even more.
Yeah, so if, this is on there pretty tightly.
There you go.
So you've got VGA if you are working with a projector that hasn't been updated since the 90s and you need VGA. That is an option available to you. And DB9 serial. Why you would need this? Who knows? But there are a lot of industrial applications that still use DB9 serial. So for all of your RS-232 needs, you're covered. And there is one very secure USB type it's a proprietary version of USB for high vibration environments. I have no idea who's actually using this outside of the military, but this is a thing that exists and it is available. And if you want this little expansion, this is another $150. This is really easy to upgrade. And if you want to pop out SSD, here it is, just one slider. If you want to, say, put in this graphics card, just pop that in just like that. And there's two screws right here that you can put in if you need to secure the graphics card. I'm sure that's actually a recommended thing. You don't want a graphics card sliding out. This latch is pretty secure, so it's probably not going to slide out. But just for added security, you've got two screws there to secure it in. And that works with the SSD and optical drives as well. And we can pop out a battery real quick. And let's see, here's the latch for this one. So this battery can come out, can put in this fingerprint reader, just snaps in very quickly like that. And there's a door for the RAM, and you can pop out the SSD as well, and let's see where that lever is. Just like that. So this is, your standard M2 SSD. It's under a little metal protector here. I'm sure the metal heat sink also helps for heat dissipation, but it's just something that's really easy to pop out when you need to. So that's like that. It's really the most modular system I've ever seen, especially for a modern laptop. Like, you can look back at stuff from the 90s, and yeah, they're built to be really modular, but you can't run anything modern on them. And this is really, really, really super modular. And one fantastic thing is that you've got a little exhaust fan here for the CPU. There is, behind the screw, we don't have a screwdriver, but behind that screw, you can pop open that access panel and clear out any dust that happens to accumulate. So if you're working in, again,
outside or,
yeah, so it's one of those things that is just really handy for a number of reasons. And there's a dock connector here if you have a docking station. It is compatible with the docking stations from the Toughbook 54, if that's something that you had and you're looking to upgrade. So,
price. That's the big question. I know we've talked about some specific parts, but...
Oh yeah, so the base system itself is going to be $2,500, and all of these prices are estimates. If you're buying in bulk through a value-added reseller and everything is, through sales channels, you're not going directly to Panasonic, you might be able to get a discount, but I wouldn't bet on it, especially not right out of the gate. So upfront is $2,500, which is, you might think it's a lot, but it has LTE on board. And having that option on any, you can't get that option on board on MacBooks. Not that you'd really see a whole lot of police cruisers running around with MacBooks.
Right.
But it's got a lot of features packed in on the base configuration that do actually justify the price. And pop this open one more time. This is a little bit strange to see on a professional laptop, but this keyboard is actually RGB backlit, so you can customize whatever color you want the keyboard to be, it is a unique thing.
It's your own thing, yeah.
It's the first time that Panasonic's had an RGB backlit keyboard. And see, what else is there? So the base configuration is 512 gigs of SSD and 8 gigs of RAM. You can go up to 64 gigs of RAM and 2 terabytes of SSD, and that is one on the little panel that we pulled out earlier and one of these expansions here. And you can configure that in RAID 1 if you want. So everything's backed up in case one of them fails, whatever happens. So that is possible. It has Wi-Fi 5. So it's Wi-Fi 5 kind of Gen 2. So you're going to get pretty good speeds out of it. And it has Bluetooth 5, as you would expect from a system shipping in 2019. So it's really
comprehensive.
Yes.
There's a lot here.
There's something here for everyone.
Right.
And don't forget, it's also a touchscreen, so it comes with a stylus that nests pretty safely in there. And it's a 10-point touchscreen. You can use it with your fingers as well. But yeah, that is the Panasonic Toughbook 55.
There you have it. Very detailed look, James.
Oh, yes.
That was great. All right. Well, for all of the specifics, everything that James covered here, you can find the full review of the Panasonic Toughbook 55 on Tech Republic. Thanks so much for watching.